It's not serious. It's a New Year episode. It needs to be like a good
Woo!
Oh my God. Happy New Year, bitch!
Yeah!
Hey, welcome back. That is literally how we're starting because that is the energy the show needs.
Oh.
This new year, this new season.
Happy New Year, everybody!
Happy New Year.
I
It
wasn't
sounded like you were
singing.
It sounded like you were like
I was just clapping.
Well, in celebration of this beautiful new year, a Monday, January 1st, a new month, new year, new week, all it's lining up. It is just the perfect new year, okay?
No, it would be the perfect New Year if it was a Sunday.
Oh, okay, you might be right there. But anyway, Monday is still like
But
the
it's the
beginning of the
second
week.
best.
Yeah, second best option. So, typically, new year, new me, right?
Yeah.
I mean, everybody
I
says
hate that saying, but yeah,
It's kind
it's like, I get it. It's just like cliche, but it's true.
It is, and I also always say, like, you can literally change your life and start doing different things at any
point in time.
So, like,
don't need the year to change for
no,
that.
but at the same time, all the hype around the New Year is kind of fun, and, like, just having everyone kind of be on board, it gives you, like, a little extra push, like, a little extra boost, I guess. But there are definitely some things that moving into 2024, I want to be doing differently. Sydney's living life, loving life, doesn't have a ton of things that she's really looking to change. As I learned when she was like, bitch, I don't really got any ideas. But that's okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna
go through her ideas with her. And I'm sure I will connect with some of them.
Yes. Yes, as you do, because
Why are you?
because
I was just holding your hands and you were like,
I don't know. This is gonna be one of those episodes where we're really gonna have to watch in order to understand what the fuck is happening. Because for just my listeners, you're gonna be confused. So let's talk about that for a minute.
Let's talk about what do you want to
Social-
leave in 2023?
Well, social media. Well, no, I don't want to leave.
Oh,
hold on.
She said, I'm quitting my job.
Said, peace out. Oh, why?
I'm sorry.
No. I just meant I was just discussing social media briefly. So
Oh, okay.
I meant like to follow up with that. One of the things that I want to leave in 2023 is following random ass people on social media, or just people who no longer align with the version I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've found that there are just so many accounts and so many people that I follow on social media that I either like compare myself to, and that's unhealthy and just toxic, and I need to unfollow, or it's just like random people and I'm consuming their lives for literally no reason, and it just is like, what value does following this person really bring me? And is it really, I don't know. I know it seems silly, right? Because it's like, okay, you just follow a random person, but I feel like sometimes it can just get really overwhelming by consuming so many different people's lives, and then you throw in strangers, and then you start, like, just comparing your life to their lives, and you don't even know who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So I actually, when I was looking at my Instagram from the beginning of the year to now, I think over the course of the year, I've unfollowed, like, I don't know, not 1,000 people, but quite a bit of people, and I've continued to do it. I don't know. Anytime somebody pops up on my feed that I'm just like, why am I following you? Like, I don't really need to see you, especially because following so many accounts, I feel like it limits what I see of the people I actually care about and like wanting to see their content. So that is the first thing that I don't want to keep doing in 2024. I want to like follow people who make me feel good and who inspire me and encourage me, and people who I know and like care to keep in touch with, not just anybody and their mama. You feel?
I understand. I think I have different, like, I use each social media platform as like I use each one of them differently. Like,
Sure.
So for Facebook, I use Facebook to keep in touch with family and like friends that I don't really see very often, or like people that I may not have talked to in years, but I still, like, it's people I went to school with, like, people from my childhood. right?
Yes.
And
Same.
then Instagram is a lot of like newer friends,
Mhm.
a more immediate friends, and then memes. Like that's what I view.
Yeah.
As far as people who follow me, it's kind of like sporadic. And then
TikTok is
TikTok for
like
me is like
the
I
most
follow
random. Yeah.
anybody I think is
Yeah.
funny. So I definitely understand what you're saying. I just think it needs to be like I don't think there's a problem with following random people if like
No.
you're not comparing yourselves to them. I get that point.
Mm.
Like if you're following random people who you're like
I wish I had
I
that
wish I
life.
had that
Why don't
life.
I have
Yeah,
that?
like then I think it becomes a little bit more of a negative thing. Like I think it's okay to follow people just cuz you think they're funny or you think
Oh,
they're
well, that's how,
interesting. Like
yeah, I mean, that's how anybody builds a platform. Like, and
yeah.
I follow plenty of people, but I think just being more intentional with who you're following and making sure that, because social media can be a fun thing, obviously, right? Like, it can be
Mm,
enjoyable, it can be a space like where I have here. My platform is all about positivity and being a light in what can sometimes be a dark area, being
mm.
social media, right? But I think that it's just like be intentional with who you're
Yeah.
following.
I think like for me especially I find on TikTok like if you look at how many people I follow on TikTok like I don't know what the number is. It's probably like 900 something.
Mm.
In all reality, I do not see all 900 of their videos.
No, right.
Like not that all of them make videos, 'cause I'm sure some people I follow, like my friends, don't make videos, but like the famous people that I used to follow, or like I still follow because I started following them like 2, 3 years ago.
Hmm.
Like I don't even watch their content anymore. If their content does come up, I just swipe like away from it because it's not the content I'm into anymore. So I definitely think
Yeah.
like maybe a little like cleanse would be helpful,
Right. Just for the
like
new
to
year
just
going
go through
through.
and just unfollow the people that I don't, or like rather than just swiping away from them, just
Right.
unfollow
Unfollow.
them.
Exactly. And it
Um,
doesn't necessarily have to be for this big negative reason, like you did something so poorly, or like, I don't know, like it doesn't have to be so
no, it's just
drastic. It
there's
could
some
just be
people
that
that like
you,
entertained me in
right.
2020 that don't entertain me now. Like,
Right. And I think just using social media for that like good positive energy and
mm,
being intentional with what you're consuming and making sure that you're actually getting something positive out of it and controlling what you can on social media to have like a good experience, because I think obviously it can get very negative very
yeah,
quickly and it can be a toxic space. So let's make it not a toxic space in 2024 and bring more positive energy to it. Another thing that I said I was leaving in 2023, not drinking enough water, bitch. Okay, because
oh
who are we?
yeah,
Okay, like
I need that
we
one.
need to be drinking our water and taking better care of our skin. That those like go hand in hand for me. Now that I've done like a terrible job taking care of my skin because I've had a rough history with my skin, so I've been very conscious about it the last few years.
Mm,
But just like as a growing woman, being more aware of our skin and like, we want to age gracefully and beautifully, like I don't
mm,
want to look busted at like 40. But yeah, just water intake in itself is a major thing,
mm.
not just with your skin, but just like energy with, I mean, anything. I could go down a whole list of things, but yeah, not drinking enough
I
water. And I have my
definitely,
water bottle
yeah.
from Amazon that has like all the times. It has like I think what 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Fill it up, drink it. That's
Mm.
that's the goal.
I definitely like can agree with that one. I have been getting better with water at work because I just keep a water bottle there and we have a bubbler and I just fill it up.
Mm-hmm,
I just fill it up
mm-hmm.
like maybe 3 times a day, so like that's a decent amount of water.
Yeah.
But then I feel like when I come home, I don't drink a lot of water. Like I drink a lot of iced tea,
Mm.
or I just don't drink
Drink
anything
anything.
until like I get into bed. I typically keep a glass of water on the side of my bed, but like I definitely don't drink. Or like if I'm out on a like weekend, like all day, like if I'm gonna be out all day Saturday,
Yeah.
I definitely don't drink enough water. Like I don't have water with me all day
Need to carry that
until I
water.
until I get home at night.
Yeah.
Then I have a glass of water. But like if I'm out all day,
Oh no, I got
I
water
drink maybe
bottles in my car.
I drink maybe like if when I get lunch, I have like something with my lunch. Like that's probably it.
Mm.
So like yeah,
So
I'm
more
definitely
water.
yeah, more water.
More water. What's number three? Oh, number three. This one kind of goes, well, it definitely goes hand in hand with number one. I put words, scrolling or consuming for hours.
Mm.
So whether it be on TikTok, or for me it's like usually TikTok I'm scrolling or I'm consuming YouTube videos. So
Me.
those are the two different things that I do very often when I have free time. And now I'm not saying that I can't still do those things, because they are things that I enjoy and I obviously want to give myself time to do the things that I enjoy.
Mm.
But I need to have like maybe a set time, or just be better at how much time I allow myself doing those things, and use some of that time to do new things, try new
Yeah.
hobbies. Like I was really into the paint by number thing a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed that. But like I also want to explore some newer hobbies, I think, in 2024. Like I don't really I don't really know off the top of my head exactly what I mean when I say a hobby, but I just feel like I'm already on my phone so much, or just absorbed in the world of technology because of what I do for work,
Mm.
that I want to use more of my free time to be off of screens and to get more into nature, just more in tune with myself, maybe discover new skills or hobbies that I have, that I didn't know about. So that is a goal for sure in 2024. And yeah, just maybe just tap back into like that childhood like self where, growing up we didn't have, I mean, we had screens, but not the way that we do now, not the way that kids do now. And I
Mm.
feel like we were pretty much that like generation where you grew up like doing a
Still
lot
going
of
outside.
creative,
Yeah.
imaginative things. Like I want to kind of just tap back into that. And I think too with like in the summer, it'll be maybe a little bit easier too, because then I'll be able
Yeah,
to
see that's what I was gonna say. Like for the
broaden.
winter, it's like I come home and it's already dark out, it's already cold, and then I'm like,
Well, yeah, I mean, doing things outside is challenging, but
yeah.
there are other things that
Well,
you could
no,
do.
for
Like think
sure.
about like
Like
puzzles, right? You could do puzzles,
yeah,
like
like my
coloring books.
Monica, my therapist, she's always telling me that I need to like keep up with like my creativity and my art because
Yeah,
like I'll go like a few weeks without drawing anything. Um, so even that, like, even just like, even if I do have a YouTube video on in the background, rather
mm,
than like playing a game or like being on Instagram, like draw something
right.
or like journal or something. Like,
Hmm.
I definitely think like the doom scrolling thing, and it's funny because
Mm.
like I'll be scrolling for so long and then I get one of those ads that's like, get off your phone and stop scrolling. And I'm like, get the
Yeah.
I'm like, go away.
Literally, like don't
Like,
try to tell me what to
don't
do.
interrupt
Like
my scrolling. But
even
no,
though we know that like
yeah. No,
they're
especially
right.
when it's like late at night and I'm like, I need
Yeah.
to go to bed, but I'm still scrolling. Or it's like
Hmm.
I need to get out of bed in the morning, but I'm still scrolling. And
Mm.
it's like anytime like I'm just sitting there and I'm like, even when I come home from work, like I sit in my car for a few minutes and go on my phone.
Yeah, I think it's just honestly, it's just become such a habit. I mean, if you really think about how many times you pick up your phone or you look at your phone or whatever, you just even touch it without
Mm.
really thinking of it, it's kind of wild. So that is something I want to be more aware of moving forward.
Yeah.
And another thing is not staying true to my word, whether it's to myself or others. And these things are like small things. I mean, I feel like I keep my word to people, like I don't like break promises with people. I'm a good friend, I'm a good person. But sometimes like little things, like if I say that I'm going to fold laundry today, or if I tell somebody I'll text you with an update tomorrow, and
Mm.
then tomorrow comes and I don't do it, and I do it the next day, and it's only one day, right? It doesn't really seem like a big deal. Same like if I did the laundry one day later, it doesn't seem like a big deal. But I think doing this over and over and compounding these events that you just continuously break the promises that you say you're gonna do, the things you're gonna do, it, I feel like, just breaks your trust with yourself. And I don't know, I just think that when you say you're gonna do something, you should do it, and it's gonna give
Mm.
you confidence that you follow through on the things you say you're gonna do. And also, in the way of with somebody else, like saying, "Oh, I'll text you tomorrow." Like, you said you're gonna text them tomorrow, text them tomorrow. Like,
Mm.
if you're not sure when you're gonna text them, don't give a day. Just say, "I'll follow up with you soon," right? But I just think that it seems small, but over time it can
Yeah.
make an impact on how you look at yourself and the things that you choose to do. And later on down the road, like, you could want to do something bigger, right? And like start a business or something, but you don't have that trust in yourself and that confidence because all you see is somebody who says they're going to do things but doesn't actually do them.
Mm. And I was gonna say, I think a lot of that goes with like, I tell myself I'm gonna fold my laundry, but then I don't fold my laundry. And it's not only like I'm not keeping my word, but now I'm sitting there disappointed in myself that I
Mm,
didn't fold my laundry.
right. Whereas, like, you could have saved yourself from feeling that way, and you could have felt a better, more positive, happier way
Mm.
if you had just done
Done
it.
what I said I was gonna
Right.
do.
And that's
Yeah.
the thing too, is like all these things that we say we're going to do, they're things that like are usually very simple and that will feel good after we do them. It's just getting the momentum to do it
Mm.
and not relying on motivation or like feeling like it. A lot of times, especially with little chores like that, like laundry and such, you're not going to feel like doing it, but you have to just do it and know that your future self will thank you for doing it and
Yeah.
you'll feel good
Yeah.
afterwards. So yeah, I think just once again being intentional with what you say. And if you feel like, you know what, I don't really know if I can do this today, maybe say, I'm going to, if I have the time, I'll get to the laundry today,
Mm.
right? Like, just maybe like work on how you say things and like the way that you prioritize it. Um, but the next one that I had was absorbing new info, but not taking action and applying what I learned. So in 2023, I did a lot of reading. I listened to a lot of new podcasts. I love all of that stuff. But sometimes I felt like I maybe was trying to absorb so much information that I was going through things really quickly
Mm.
and then not really taking it in and applying what I learned because I just took it in so fast that now it's just this feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm going to change my life or I'm going to do this and do that. And I feel so good, but I'm not really, it's just like a high for a little bit
Mm.
because I've taken in all of this new information. And then I'll have that like high for like a day or a week or whatever, and then I don't continue to apply what I learned, and I just pick up another book and start reading that book, you
Mm.
know?
Yeah.
So I think maybe just slowing down a little bit and really absorbing new information when I genuinely need it, so that way I'm in a space where I can then go and apply that information to get to the next step of whatever goal it is that I'm trying to reach. I feel like for you, like, it's kind of like what you were doing with your training with your job, right?
Mm.
Like, you learned all of that new information. Now in order to actually grow, you have to take that and you have to go and apply what you learned
Yeah.
with your team, with your department.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. I I don't know. I have nothing
you
to
don't
say
have
about
nothing
that
to add
one.
to that one.
No,
Yeah.
I just
That one's
I
might be
don't
like a little
really
bit more like entrepreneurship
yeah, I
type.
don't really absorb a lot of like information that would be a like I don't absorb like informative information
Well,
like
kind of.
unless
I mean, yeah,
no,
well,
like
when
when
it
I'm
comes to
at
work,
work,
yeah.
yeah, but like as far as like podcasts and like media and stuff,
Hmm.
I
That's not
just
something that,
no,
yeah,
I just I
you're just vibing.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
you
a
know
lot of
what?
comedy. That's all I
Yeah.
take in.
Well, that's, yeah, I mean, that's where you're at, and some people might be there too. Other
Mm.
people might be more into,
I'm
like,
just I
the
have a
personal
hard
development.
time with like staying focused if I'm listening to or like reading that kind of information.
Mm.
Like I don't know why. Like I just am like I'm bored.
Well, I mean, if you're not in a place where you're really ready to receive the information, which is like fine to not be, right? Like, not everybody's going to be in a season of personal growth all the time.
Mm.
So, if you're not in that space, then you're not going to be receptive to the information. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, it's okay that
Yeah,
that's
like I
not where
think
you're
there was a
at.
time where like for a brief moment I listened to like Trent Shelton like every day
Yeah, yeah.
and like
Right, you
I
had
was enjoying it and stuff. But I don't know.
it's just not where you're at right now.
Yeah, no.
Well, hey, that's you, and that's fine. But for those of you who are maybe in a season of growth and maybe with the new year, it's something that you're looking to get into personal development wise, take it and absorb it and apply it. That's what I'm going to do with you. And Sydney will be here to cheer us on and
And
to
crack jokes.
crack jokes. Yeah.
I just don't think I'm in, as you would put it, like a season of growth or like a season of change.
Yeah, no, that's
Like I just
fine.
don't think I'm in like a place of my life where I'm like actively growing and changing. Obviously I'm always growing and like
Yeah,
life's
I would say
always
that.
moving, but I'm not like
Your priorities are just
yeah, like
different
I
now.
don't know, I'm just not in a point right now where I'm like actively like trying to like pursue growth,
Yeah,
you
and
know?
that's fine. You're on a journey of your own, doing your own
I'm
thing.
living my best
Living my
life.
best life. um, the last one that I have here, though, for what I'm leaving in
Ah,
2023 is allowing my boundaries to be tested or crossed. And
I was so confused for a minute. I forgot that it was things we were leaving in 2023. I was like, why are we allowing our boundaries to be
no,
crossed? I was like, I don't see how that benefits
we're
us.
not. We're
But we're
not.
leaving
We're
it.
leaving that. We're leaving that behind. And
No
not,
more.
no more. And not saying that I really let people do this. Like, I don't really let people, like, walk over me or, like, do those things. But I think sometimes in the past, like this year, there have been a couple times that I can recall where I wanted to stay in or I
Mm,
wanted to work and not hang out or whatever. And I let people persuade me into going out or into hanging out or whatever. And not that I like regretted it, right? Because I probably in those situations like always have a good time, right?
mm,
But I just think that not just with work, but with anything, like if you want to stay in one night and all your girls want to go out, but you really want to stay in, stay in. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like I think that's kind of where I'm at with this one of like don't let people persuade you into doing something that you don't want to do. It was almost like what I let happen with the almost hookup I had. Like it was a very close situation where I was going to hook up with this guy but I didn't want to and I knew I didn't want to, but his energy was very much like let's make this happen and I could have very easily let that persuade me into
mm,
doing something I didn't want to do, but instead I was like, "Hey, this doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to do that." And it might not be like that. The situation could look different, but I think just really standing firm in your beliefs and in who you are and in what you want to do. And if people don't vibe with that, or people are like, oh, you've changed, or oh, you're weird, you're boring, whatever, like Steph and
mm,
I, in the next episode that you guys are going to listen to, we talked all about living a sober life. And
mm.
the guest speaker, my friend Steph, talked about how like she's had some friends react really weird to that. And it's just like something that you have to kind of realize as you grow up and as your opinions and interests change, some people might not fuck with you for
Yeah.
that. You know, some people might think it's weird that you're changing or that you're setting these boundaries or that you don't want to go out all the time, like whatever it is. Hopefully, if you have good friends and a good support system, then they won't react that way.
Mm,
But
yeah. No, I definitely agree with that point. Like if I have a very overwhelming day or like I'm really anxious, I don't like to be touched.
right,
It's overstimulating.
right.
And like I've I've explained it to like I know I've explained it to you and Robbie like a lot. And like
Hmm.
Robbie will ask me now like if like if I like tense up when he comes
Right.
near me. He'll ask me like, "Oh, like, are you
You good?
overwhelmed?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Yep." And then like he just kind of like knows to just like
Fist bump.
and like
Yeah.
not hug me. Um, but I think there's been instances where it's like I will say that to somebody and they're like, "What do you mean?" And they get like offended that like I don't want to
Yeah.
like I don't like just even if it's just the simplest like
Right.
if
It's
I
just
if
what
I
it's my
am
boundary.
overstimulated, just please don't touch me.
Right. And
And
respect that
I've definitely
boundary.
had like people of like in all different areas, whether it be a friend, a family member, like I've
Right.
had
Whatever.
people kind of
Ask.
like be like, really? Like I can't like even just put my hand on your shoulder. I'm like, no, like if I asked you not to touch me, don't touch me.
Right.
And I think boundaries kind of go hand in hand with consent. Like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Like if I don't want you to touch me, that's my
You don't have
boundary.
consent to
You do
touch
not
me.
have consent to touch me.
Right. Right.
Like if I don't want you to touch my hair, like
Right.
you do not have consent to touch my hair. That is my boundary. Please respect it.
Right.
You know?
Just like if you were to make the decision to not go out one night, like that's my decision. Please respect it.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I mean?
like if a specific conversation makes somebody uncomfortable or makes me uncomfortable and I say to the whatever group I'm around, "Hey guys, this conversation is making me really uncomfortable. Do you think we could change the topic?"
Right.
And then people get like weird with me.
Mm.
I'm like, "But you know it's making me uncomfortable." This is the thing that I right here, real quick. Let me go off on a rant. This is going to Here's my thing. If you know that something you're doing is making another human being uncomfortable, upset, or angry,
Why do you
why
do it?
continue to do it? Especially like in front of them or to them. Like
Yeah.
like it just
It's
doesn't
a lack of common sense, I
it makes
think.
no sense to
It's
me.
a lack
Like
of awareness. That's
it's
what
a
it
lack
is.
of like care.
Respect, a
It's a
lack
lack
of
of respect
care.
for
Yeah.
like the other human being you share the planet with. Like
Yeah.
whether or not you think it's stupid, like whether or not you think it's a good idea or you think it's stupid or you don't understand,
Respect the
they said,
person.
"Hey, this makes me uncomfortable." Okay, sorry, I won't do it anymore. Like, or I
Right.
won't do it in front of you anymore. Like, I just like it's so easy to have respect and care for other people that like if like someone continues to do something that I have expressed makes me uncomfortable, then like I just am just going to assume they're not a good person.
Right.
Like you can say like, "Oh, well, I think it's funny." Well, like I don't and I've asked you to stop and like and obviously it's like I'm not saying like, Michaela wears a black shirt and it makes me uncomfortable. Like no, like
Yeah,
I mean
you
things
know,
that are physically
things that
and
right.
verbally like affecting me and like I just think
Mhm.
like we have in this world such a lack of respect for other people's wishes and other people's boundaries. And like
I think
I know and like I've been told, by all the adults in the world, they all tell me, this world doesn't care about you and it's like,
yeah.
nobody gives a crap. And I know, in all reality, I know,
People are absorbed in their own lives.
Sally from, Milwaukee doesn't give a fuck about me. Like she doesn't know who I am. Like obviously I know that. But like if you're somebody in my life that wants to continue to be in my life, you should have the bare minimum respect and care for me as a person to not do things that make me uncomfortable in front of me. And I think that that's like not a big ask.
It's
Like I'm
not.
not telling you to cut your hair or and make it blonde. Like I'm not telling you that you know, have to break up with your girlfriend. I'm not
Yeah.
telling you to make drastic life changes. Like if you're constantly telling me something or talking about something that makes me uncomfortable to me, don't talk to me about it anymore. I've told you it makes me uncomfortable. Like I just whatever, maybe it's me. I just don't understand why people continue to do things that make other people upset. Like why? What joy does that bring you to hurt somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole other conversation that we could get into. I think that there's a lot of reasons why people do that, and
But
it
it
stems
goes along with the
it
boundaries.
stems
Like
from yeah, but
people
I
who
think it
don't
just
respect your
stems from
boundaries, like why? Well, we died for a second.
We died, but we're back. But you were saying all about boundaries, people not respecting it. Totally understand where you're coming from and agree. And I think that it has a lot to do with the fact that people don't respect themselves. People don't know how to communicate. I mean, there's a lot of things as to why that happens. But in 2024, we're not going to let our boundaries be tested. We're not going to let our boundaries be
No.
crossed. We're going to stand firm in our beliefs. We're going to communicate our feelings and tell
Yeah.
people how we truly feel and not hold
Tell 'em.
back. And if they don't fuck with us after that, then that's okay. They're not meant to come on the ride to the next chapter with us. Okay? Okay.
That was beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Your girl needs water. Oh my.
I need food.
Yeah, I know. You're a little depleted right now.
I
Sit up.
am.
There you go. Beautiful. So
Who sits like this?
nobody. But posture check. 2024. We're leaving bad posture behind. Well, that's what we have for today because the battery is dying again because I forgot to charge the backup. So, um, Happy New Year, bitch.
And Merry Christmas.
Nope, Christmas is over.
Well, I didn't get to wish them a Merry Christmas.
Okay, yes.
So I'm wishing them a Merry Christmas now. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas or a happy Hanukkah.
Or a Kwanzaa.
Or Kwanzaa.
A Kwanzaa.
A Kwanzaa.
Any holiday that you celebrate, if you're still celebrating, just, we love you. We are family.
And happy fucking New Year, bitch.
Thanks for tuning in to episode 1 of season 2 of A Girl's Guide to this year. Yeah, we switched up a little bit, but this year is gonna be fire. We're gonna make some shit happen. We're gonna be just absolutely killing it in the podcast industry. Oh, shoulder crack. Bust it down.